Hey guys, it's Joseph here. This video is about how to achieve this look with just one light. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this promo that I had shot the other day. This is for a church that I'm a part of. I shot this promo to kind of talk about the new series that we're going to head into as a church. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the video first, and then afterwards I'm going to talk about the lighting setup.
Hi, my name is Pastor Donnie Immel. I'm the lead pastor here at Crossroads Community Church. And I just wanted to share with you an exciting sermon series that we have coming up in February titled Friendships, Relationships, and Everything in Between. So I don't think it's a secret that right now in our society, there's a lot of disunity. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of disagreements. As a matter of fact, I was recently watching the news. They just kept repeating the phrase over and over. I'm offended. I'm upset. I'm offended. I'm upset. And the interviewer would ask them a question, and it kept coming back to that conflict, that there was something that they were upset about. In our culture, anger and outrage is just very trendy. It's kind of our immediate response. So this is kind of along the lines of what our goal is with this series, is we want to talk about the opposite side of that. How do we remain united? Like in the book of Acts, when we see this united church that is so on fire for the things of Christ and running after his plans and they're moving together. And the Bible just all throughout Acts continually says that they were united, that they were in one accord, that there was harmony. That's the kind of relationships that I believe Christ has desired us to have and to live out. And we can't get around the fact that when we're together as people, as humans, there's going to be conflict. And so I just have to ask the question, how are we as the church setting an example of unity? How are we setting an example of resolving conflict in a godly manner, in a manner that breeds health, in a manner that pushes us towards more kingdom-minded things? We sit down across the table from somebody that we might disagree with, maybe even being hurt by that individual, and still stand in Christ's truth and love them and show grace and mercy and build a bridge. That's what we're talking about this February. Friendships, relationships, and everything in between. And I am so excited for what God has in store. And I want to take a moment to invite you to personally come join us for this series.
All right, so now that we have seen it, this was a new project for me. This was something different than what I'm totally used to. It's a one lighting setup, which I'm familiar with, but in trying to capture that light in such a dark room, that was a brand new situation for me. So I'm really excited that I was able to try this and pull it off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly talk about the gear and some of the process that went into making this particular promotional feature that you saw. So the first thing I had to do is, we're in the middle of the sanctuary, so I had to go through and block out all the windows. Every window in that building had to be closed off, so I ended up using black pieces of cloth that I just taped over the top of the windows just to make the room as dark as possible. So the next thing I did was I had placed a light immediately overhead. Now I had practiced this at home. I had just quickly put some black sound blankets up around me and behind me, kind of just tested things just to see how they were going to work. This light is on a C-stand, and it's not a real expensive light. This is by a company called GVM. It's the LED 480 LS. It's a bicolor light, and it's more of a fill light, but in this scenario I was able to use it more of a key. And then the softbox I had on top of that is, actually I'm going to show you real quick here. It was just a cheap softbox I had bought when I had bought these LED lights, and there's not a lot of depth to them. They're a 12 by 12 softbox by Diffuse, and they package up real nice. They're easy to travel with, but I wanted something with a grid, and because I didn't have a grid, what you see here, this is actually black gaff tape that I put all over the front of this just to help soften the light some more, so it was more focused on Pastor Donnie and more focused on the chair. For audio, I was just running my H4n with a Audio-Technica AT I don't remember. I'll put it down below. But it's not an expensive microphone, and the audio quality still came out pretty decent. This was a quick, hey, can you get this done for me? And we were able to get this set up and filmed in about 2 days without much planning for gear or anything like that. And this is a lighting setup that's been used by a group of people making these films called I Am Second. I guess they call it White Chair something or other, White Chair Testimonials or something like that now. And so we really wanted to capture something similar to this, but we didn't want to copy it, which is why I had put the blue LEDs from the stage on. As far as cameras are concerned, I shot with a G85 using a 45mm lens, and I used actually a Canon SL2, and I was able to color match them pretty closely. And that's the other thing, the video quality, one's 4K, one's 1080, you know, they can't do too much, but I still wanted to capture something, you know, of 2 angles. And I was able to color match them, and because it was exporting in 1080p anyways, it wasn't really going to matter. So these are just some of the things I did to get the shots that you're seeing here in the feature. I appreciate you watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.